Mr. Speaker, despite confirmation the Russians downed Malaysian airline MH17, the Liberals are still pursuing their asinine policy of normalizing relations with Russia, even though Russia invaded and illegally annexed Crimea and is waging a war in eastern Ukraine, even though Russia is bombing and killing hundreds of civilians in Syria while they prop up the brutal Assad regime. When will the foreign minister get his head out of the clouds and realize that any step to rationalize our relations with Russia is a threat to international security and Canadian sovereignty?
The Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, the fact is that we have today more sanctions against Russia than other form of government. We have more support for Ukraine than during the former government, and I was very proud to announce an increase of $8 million for support for professional police, a competent police in Ukraine, will be shoulder to shoulder to Ukraine all the way through.
The honourable member for Selkirk Interlake Eastman.
Mr. Speaker, despite the Liberals saying the North is no place for military confrontation or build-up, here is what Russia is doing. They're building a new fleet of nuclear-powered submarines and icebreakers. They're performing snap military exercises in the North. They're opening new military bases in the high Arctic, and they have stood up a 6,000-soldier battle group. In no way is Russia a threat to Canada, and just moments ago, the U.S. suspended relations with Russia. Will the Prime Minister stand up and put our Arctic sovereignty ahead of becoming BFFs with Putin?
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, the U.S. reduced the relationship with Russia about Syria, not about the Arctic. That's the point. But about Syria. About Syria. Russia has a choice. Whether Russia recognizes the critical and constructive role it must play in the world or pursue the appalling course of action that they are doing. Canada will continue to work closely with our allies and bilaterally with Russia to be sure that Russia will be taken into account. The path of dangerous belligerence will not work and will not succeed.